President Lee hosted his annual news conference yesterday.
And the Student Activities Board hosted a special bingo night.
Welcome back to Channel 14 News. I'm Rachel Pellegrino.
And I'm Luke Santucci. Yesterday, President Lee addressed the student body of Waynesburg University as a part of his yearly tradition to discuss topics about federal grants, tuition, and a budding relationship with Carnegie Mellon University. Lee also took time to answer questions from students about further discussing issues that he was presenting. He also commended several of them on their fine work they have produced this semester. Lee also addressed a yearly economic impact study and how it will affect Waynesburg University in the near future.
Waynesburg SAB hosted a theme bingo night last week. WCTV's Adam Morganti was there to get the spooky details.
On Halloween Eve, Waynesburg University students gathered in the Beehive for Halloween bingo. It wasn't a typical bingo night, as students dressed up in the costumes to get into Halloween spirit if they weren't already. Some costumes students wore include Buzz Lightyear, a butterfly, a squirrel, and Disney princesses, and many more. Since students could dress up in costumes, it was an easy choice for them to play bingo.
Hoping to win some prizes as well as scare some other people.
Well, I came last year and I had some fun, so I figured I'd get a cool costume and just come and be creepy and try and get a prize.
There were a plethora of prizes students could win, such as candy, a blanket, a hat, and a water bottle. It was obvious what the inspiration was behind students' costumes.
I'm supposed to be Pennywise from the movie It.
And I just try to go as creepy as possible. It's like a creepy gesture to match my creepy laugh I can do, so.
Halloween Bingo Night was a big hit for everyone involved. For WCTV News, I'm Adam Morganti.
Last week, several students gathered in the Beehive for a conversation and fellowship. The Bonner Scholars hosted the event and several students shared their personal stories of redemption. Antonio Palullo has the story.
Suffering and depression beat down our sense of purpose, and what used to be the adventure of life.
Students gathered in the Beehive October 29th for a fresh cup of joe and fresh cup of storytelling through spoken word and singing. The night starts off with a video made by senior electronic media major Harry Oakes and 2019 Waynesburg University graduate Paul Hicks. Junior nursing major Sarah Long shared why she chose the song she played tonight and how it connects to her life personally.
Rough time kind of recently, and so I felt like it was very, very applicable to my life. That, whatever's going on in your mind, what's going on in your life, it doesn't matter. Like, the Lord says that you're His, and the Lord says that, you're loved and strong when, you feel weak.
Senior music ministry major Thomas Fay also shared what his song meant to him.
Know that if I open my heart, that Jesus will be there to take care of me in my struggles and even in my good times, and that He will always be there.
Like, what happened? Like, why couldn't anybody else run this before, and now everyone's running it? Like, up to now, over 100,000 people have ran a mile under 4 minutes.
Junior athletic trainer major Marco Herrera shared a story of breaking past limits.
Like, if you've committed a don't think about the limits that people imposed on you or that you imposed on yourselves. With God, we have a limitless God, so we can overcome these limits. That was basically it.
For WCTV, I'm Antonio Palullo.
This past weekend, Waynesburg University provided an opportunity for Boy Scouts to earn their merit badges. Reporting for WCTV and the Yellow Jacket is Lachlan Loudon.
Waynesburg University held its 7th annual Merit Badge University on Saturday. Sophomore forensic science major Joshua Gertner, an instructor for one of the courses, looks forward to assisting the Scouts.
I've had a chance to work with some great people, and it's just a chance for me to pass on what I know to these younger generation that might not learn these things otherwise.
Gertner is teaching citizenship in the world, which gives Scouts an insight on coexisting globally and becoming a global citizen. Another merit badge option for the Boy Scouts was movie making, led by senior electronic media major Harry Oakes. Movie making student for the day Brighton Lewineski is one of the few who wanted to take a more creative approach to the merit badge.
I chose it because I have a pretty big interest in it. I liked it, and I figured it'd be something new to try out instead of doing all the merit badges like citizenship in the world, where you sit in a classroom and you basically get the teacher just rambles on and you have to fill out all sorts of papers, and I figured I might as well have fun.
Now learning the tips and tricks of cinematography, Brighton has been involved with scouting for quite a while now.
About 4 years now, not including Cub Scouts. Including Cub Scouts, I'd say about 8 years.
Yeah, are you trying to shoot for Eagle Scout?
Definitely.
Jessica Oakes, a sophomore communication major at Waynesburg University, is a loyal scout at heart, assisting the movie makers.
I'm helping my brother Harry Oakes today to do the movie making merit badge. This is actually our second semester working together. I've actually been part of scouting now for 5 years. I'm part of the venturing system, and I think it's just a good way to just be a role model to these scouts that are growing up and just to help the next generation.
This was also the first time that girls could participate in Merit Badge University. Participating in movie making was camera hobbyist Stephanie Cullist.
I mean, it's a good experience. I got it special on some things, and then like the speed I run. I'm taking it because I like being behind the camera, and I learned that Waynesburg's actually pretty.
At the end of the day, the Waynesburg University faculty, student instructors, and the Boy Scouts collaborated for another successful Merit Badge University. Lachlan Loudon, WCTV.
That's it for campus news. Stay tuned for national news coming up next.
It's a Saturday night. You know what that means. Time to party. Sam is having a good time, watching sports, drinking beer, playing pong. Not a care in the world for Sam. Nobody at the party stops Sam. They let him walk out the door with his keys, even though he was stumbling, having a hard time to stand up. What happened less than 10 minutes later would change Sam's life forever.
Hello, I'm Caleb Yauger with WCTV News, and today in Waynesburg it's a little cloudy and gloomy. Stay tuned for a full weather report later on in the show.
Milwaukee police say they've arrested a 61-year-old man in an acid attack. Police say the attack happened after two men got into an argument Friday. Police say the suspect threw what's believed to be battery acid on the victim, Mahad Vilalaz, causing second-degree burns, as you can see in this video. Vilalaz says he and the man got into an argument over how Vilalaz had parked his car. He says the attacker called him an illegal and told him to get out of his country before throwing the acid in his face from a bottle. He said he feels like the victim of a hate crime. A family spokesman says Vilalaz is originally from Peru, but is a U.S. citizen and has been in the U.S. for 19 years. Police say the suspect was arrested for aggravated battery on Saturday. Authorities have not released the suspect's name. The family spokesman says Vilalaz has a wife and two young kids that he had to explain the incident to. He said he's in relatively good spirits because he knows his injuries could have been much worse. Drastic changes coming to Airbnb following a deadly party at one of its home rentals. And a fifth person has died this weekend following a shooting at a San Francisco area home. And now, Airbnb is taking action. Rick Damigella has a closer look at the new policies and how they may impact you.
A Halloween house party turns deadly. 5 people shot and killed at this Airbnb rental in the San Francisco area.
Orinda is a very small, very safe, very family-oriented community. It is not accustomed to violence.
The shooting is still under investigation, but Airbnb is banning party houses at its rental properties to prevent similar incidents from taking place. The company's CEO tweeting, "We must do better, and we will. This is unacceptable." In additional tweets, Airbnb detailed a new course of action, saying it's implementing a more stringent guest screening program, creating a party house rapid response team, and anyone found in violation of the upgraded policies could be removed. Authorities say the Halloween party in Orinda, California was advertised on social media and more than 100 people showed up. The deadly shooting took place Thursday night at an Airbnb rental that specifically does not allow parties.
There are going to be folks that don't follow the rules. That's unfortunately the way the world works.
I'm Rick Damigella.
It's still unclear what led to the chaotic scene that left 5 dead and several others injured. No arrests have been made either. A retired priest who died after being swept away by floodwaters Thursday night in upstate New York was headed to church. A deacon chose to choose the priest, told CNN. Father John T. Connery was traveling to a mass when he was caught in the floodwaters. State police say Connery disobeyed a traffic signal and drove into a flooded part of the road. When he got out of his car, he was swept away by the floodwater. His body was recovered Friday. The retired priest served as a sacramental minister and filled in for many pastors in his neighboring churches. He was 82 years old. About 400 California inmates are helping fight the Kincaid fire. Here are some of them fueling up to continue the battle. California employs about 3,100 inmates as a part of the Conservation Camp program, which provides critical support to state and federal agencies responding to emergencies such as wildfires, floods, and other disasters. About 2,100 of those inmates are authorized to fight fires. The Conservation Camp program is jointly run by the Department of Forestry and Fire Protection and the Los Angeles Fire Department. Only low-security prisoners with a record of good behavior are eligible to participate. Those who volunteer get the same entry-level training as the state's seasonal firefighters receive. The wages are higher than most other prison jobs, but the risk is significantly greater.
Court ruled Monday that President Donald Trump does not have blanket immunity in the New York City tax return case. A 3-judge panel agreed with the lower court that Trump is not exempt from a state grand jury proceeding, including subpoenas. But the court is sending it back down to the lower court for additional argument. The case involves Trump's bid to stop the Manhattan District Attorney from obtaining his personal and corporate tax returns and other financial documents. The district attorney subpoenaed Trump's accounting firm as part of a grand jury investigation into whether Trump and his associates broke state laws like falsifying business records. That's in connection with hush money payments made to Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal, who both allege having affairs with Trump more than 10 years ago. He denies those claims. Trump's attorney, Jay Sekulow, say they will have to go to the Supreme Court over the appeals court decision. The court ordered a temporary stay of the subpoena. Hundreds of firefighters still battling the more than a dozen fires across California are facing a familiar threat this weekend. A red flag warning is in effect for some parts of Southern California, and that mix of stronger winds, low humidity, and dry vegetation is what's raising new fire concerns. Meredith Wood has the latest.
Dry, hot, and windy weather. The perfect, dangerous mix that could fuel even more fires in California.
We are in the middle of a big fight. We are about a week into this, and the end is not yet in sight.
Hundreds of firefighters up and down the state are still battling 13 wildfires. The latest blaze, the so-called Maria Fire in Ventura County, has charred more than 10,000 acres so far. Some good news this weekend. Santa Ana winds have weakened considerably, but the National Weather Service says the air is still very dry with humidity below 10%. And peak wind gusts in some parts expected to hit up to 35 miles an hour.
Please stay active and engaged. Please have a plan and be ready to go at a moment's notice.
This week, some of the strongest winds in several years fanned massive flames across the Golden State, and the threat is not over yet. State fire officials say California is still recovering from a 6-year drought, and the dry landscape combined with hot temperatures and historic wind events are major concerns.
Fire season in California is no longer a season. It's a year-round operation, be it in a northern, central, or southern part of the state. We are responding to wildland fires year-round, 365 days.
I'm Meredith Wood reporting.
The Environmental Protection Agency is easing up on rules. According to a source familiar with the matter, changes are coming to how power plants store the waste it collects from coal power plants. Another rule change involves the release of chemically tainted water and how it is released. These proposals push back a pair of rules from the Obama administration. This relaxation of rules comes shortly after coal industry companies said in court that they had trouble affording the standards that were in place. A massive ship stuck at the top of Niagara Falls for 100 years has shifted. The flat-bottomed iron scow has been grounded since 1918 when it broke loose from a tugboat. But park officials say heavy rains and fierce winds on Halloween night flipped the iron vessel on its side and spun it downriver about 150 feet. Park officials say right now it looks secure and that there isn't a danger of the wreckage going over the falls. However, they don't expect it to remain stationary forever, so they will continue to watch it closely for any sign of movement. That's all for national news. Whenever we return, Gwen Napier will tell you about the investigation of Under Armour in our business and entertainment update.
Halloween is over and Thanksgiving is still a few weeks away, but there's already a holiday forecast and it's looking very cheerful for retailers. Brett Conaway has a closer look in today's Consumer Watch.
More jingle at the cash register. A new report shows this year's holiday sales could grow as much as 4.2% compared to 2018, reaching a possible high of $730 billion. That's according to the National Retail Federation. And this is a critical time for retailers, with November and December sales accounting for 20% of annual sales. So the predicted rise is good news for retailers, who saw a small increase of only 2.1% last year. The NRF blames 2018's tariffs and the uncertainty over a government shutdown. But this is also good news for job seekers. The NRF expects retailers to hire more than 530,000 temporary workers to help with the high demand this holiday season. Experts credit the rise in holiday sales to job growth and higher wages. And it's not just brick and mortar stores seeing soaring sales. The NRF forecast finds online and other non-store sales are expected to increase as much as 14% to nearly $167 billion. For Consumer Watch, I'm Britt Conway.
The NFR holiday forecast looks at several indicators including employment, wages, and consumer confidence. The figure excludes car dealers, gas stations, and restaurants. Clothing retailer Under Armour is under investigation by the Justice Department and U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. They're looking into company financial statements. Reports suggest it's a criminal inquiry into whether Under Armour shifted sales to make the company seem healthier, but the company firmly believes its accounting practices and disclosures were appropriate. The retailer is struggling financially. It's losing sales to Nike and Adidas. Even smaller brands like Fila and Puma are doing better than Under Armour. Founder and CEO Kevin Plank stepped down last month. He will be replaced by Patrick Frisk in 2020. The U.S. Department of Justice has declined to comment. Popeye's spicy chicken sandwich is back permanently. The chain ran out of inventory in August after just 2 weeks because of what it's called extraordinary demand. It was driven by a viral social media spat with other fast food chains and America's growing appetite for chicken. Now, after a 2-month wait, Popeye started selling the popular sandwich on Sunday. A spokesman for the chain says Popeye has stabilized its supply chain for the sandwich. Popeye's Twitter background says, "Y'all, the sandwich is back this Sunday. Yes, Sunday." That appears to be a dig at rival Chick-fil-A, which is not open on Sundays. Actress Olivia Newton-John's infamous all-black outfit from Greece brought in $405,000 at auction. exceeding its estimate by more than double. The outfit was made famous in the 1978 film's final song, You're the One I Want. It was sold Saturday at Beverly Hills auction. Hundreds of other items from Newton-John's career were also sold. Now 71 and diagnosed with breast cancer for the third time, Newton-John decided to sell more than 500 items from her career to help raise funds for her Cancer Wellness Center in Australia. Ringo Starr received an honor and Lady Gaga is returning to movie theaters. Rick Damigella has the details on those stories and more in the Hollywood Minute.
Did you see what's happening? Peace and love moment.
Ringo Starr's gesture of peace and love has been immortalized in statue form. The Beatles drummer was on hand in Beverly Hills, California for the unveiling over the weekend. The 8-foot-tall stainless steel statue weighs in at nearly 1,500 pounds. Casting news, Gaga goes Gucci. Variety reports Academy Award winner Lady Gaga will portray the ex-wife of Maurizio Gucci in a new film about the Gucci family. Ridley Scott is directing the project. A green carpet premiere for Green Eggs and Ham. Voice cast members Diane Keaton, Ilana Glazer, Adam Devine, and Keegan-Michael Key were joined by Ellen DeGeneres, who is an executive producer of the new animated series from Netflix, which debuts on Friday. Joining Sam I Am for some Green Eggs and Ham in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
When we return, Tanner Cyprowski will get you caught up on Waynesburg sports.
Waynesburg University cross-country teams competed in the PAC Championships on Saturday. The men's team finished third out of 9 teams and had 4 sets of all-conference runners. Third place was the highest finish for the men's squad since 2014. The team was led by junior Jordan Payne. He finished 8th out of 100 runners and received his second All-PAC honor. Freshman Jack Coakley earned a second-team All-PAC honor with his 11th place performance. Juniors Nate Jesselin and Matt Durgan placed 13th and 16th, giving them the final 2 All-PAC honors. St. Vincent finished first in the team and individual championships. The Jackets have one more race on Saturday, November 16th at the NCAA Division III Mid-East Regional Championships in Lehigh, Pennsylvania. The women's cross-country team continued its dominance by winning its 4th straight team championship. The Lady Jackets had 7 runners with All-PAC accolades, including sophomore Aubrey Wingart, who finished first and won PAC Runner of the Year. After the race, head coach Chris Hardy won his 5th PAC Coach of the Year award. Waynesburg Volleyball picked up its first conference win on Saturday on Senior Day. The Jackets beat W&J 3-1, putting their record at 4-23 overall and 1-15 in the conference. Junior Hannah Colvin had a double-double with 14 kills and 17 digs. Lone senior Alyssa Proper finished her final game with 4 spikes, 1 kill, and 9 digs. The Waynesburg University wrestling team started its season with the annual Orange vs. Black Wrestle-Offs. Riley Holsinger has more.
The Waynesburg University wrestling team opened its 2019-2020 season on Saturday with the annual Orange vs. Black Wrestle-Offs. The Orange team ended up winning the match 27-26, but the day was filled with great competition, leaving Waynesburg wrestling and spectators as the winners from the afternoon.
You know, I've always said this isn't my favorite day when you have to pit your own team against each other.
The day was opened up with a quick pin by Leo Federal taking down Ben Champ in a heavyweight bout. Then moving over to the lightweights, freshman Noah Grossnickel battled reigning PAC champ Dylan Williams in overtime. Grossnickel lost on a Williams takedown in sudden victory. The freshman class stood out as a bright spot for Waynesburg as Grossnickel won his second match of the day against Brendan Hanning. Jay Sky won by tech fall against Anthony Medina. Rocky McGeary pinned Federal, and Colby Morris added the last fall for the freshman group over Scotty Miller.
I think we got some special freshmen, and I think overall our older guys are going to, it's a good mix of our team.
Caleb Baxter, a veteran on this team, made his debut after an injury held him out last year. Baxter won by fall over Corey Supon in the second period. Coach Headley was very happy to see the results from his team on Saturday.
Overall, just guys were scrapping and going at it, so I'm happy about that.
Covering the Waynesburg University wrestling team all season for WCTV Sports, I'm Riley Holsinger.
That's all for sports. When we come back, Caleb Yauger will tell you if today's rain will go away or if it's here to stay.
Have you ever been to the Everly Library? If not, you should, because it's great. They have books of all different genres: history, biography, fiction. Try The Evolution of Life, Life of Pi, or Jurassic Park. So what if books aren't your thing? Try movies like Frozen, or TV shows like Lost. Books and DVDs aren't the only thing though. Take a trip to the second floor. Welcome to the Writing Center. These tutors will tell you everything you need to know about writing a paper, and they'll help revise your essays.